Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another video from your favorite man-child, Super Jesus Jackson. Today, we are going to be watching and analyzing one of the best movie scenes from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy, specifically the scene right after Uncle Ben dies, spoiler alert, in the 2001 Spider-Man film. Why am I doing this? Well, I thought it'd be kind of nice to not only go back to film, because I've been doing a lot of music stuff, but go back to film. And because of, obviously, the elephant in the room, Spider-Man No Way Home will be in theaters very, very soon. And because of the talk of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland joining together in the big screen, I think it'd be appropriate to do something like this. And I've been wanting to do it. And I've also actually done Spider-Man 3 in the past. I did a reaction and analysis to the Sandman scene, which is brilliant. But anyways, I figure I'd do one for Spider-Man 1, and one of the best scenes from it, and I think I'll do The Amazing Spider-Man 2 next. I already have an idea of what scene I want to do, but the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy is just a classic. I grew up with it, so, you know, it always will have a place in my heart. Who's the best Spider-Man? That's probably a topic for another video. Let me know if you want to see that. But I really appreciate your support and everything you've given me so far. We're almost to 500 subscribers, guys. 500. I never thought that would be possible, but, you know, I think it's going to happen. Alrighty, so let's start here. This is the Spider-Man scene right after Uncle Ben dies, and he kind of puts on the classic, you know, kind of wrestler Spider-Man outfit. That is my favorite. And, you know, he kind of learns how to swing around the city and stuff. Really great stuff, but let's do it.
Shooter. He's headed south on 5th Avenue. We got 3 cars in pursuit.
Toby's face.
All right, folks, come on. Help us out. Come back.
Just give me a chance. Just give me a chance!
What about my uncle? Did you give him a chance? Did you?
Answer me!
Thanks. See ya.
We've got the place completely surrounded!
Wow. Okay, first of all, specifically, I really wanted to watch this scene because of the way that Sam Raimi kind of films the scene, of course, because it's CGI, really. Spider-Man kind of putting on his outfit and really figuring out how to maneuver the world. He's climbing, he's swinging. The music, okay, with, the score by Danny Elfman here is fantastic. And, it's nighttime here, and it's difficult to kind of do great scenes during nighttime for a character that's so bright like Spider-Man. He's really at his best in, New York City, daytime, full on. But here, he discovers his powers sort of, well, he's not discovering, but he's really kind of venturing out into the city, web slinging for the first time, really as Spider-Man during a nighttime. And obviously it makes sense because this is a very dark moment in Peter's life right now. But I just absolutely love, I get chills when he's running through that alley and the music begins and it's very heroic, and then he's putting it on, and like we see every part of the alley as he's running, and like this kind of shot of his back with the spider logo, and he starts climbing on this, on the walls like a spider. It's just, it gives me chills. And I don't know if I think when I was a kid, I loved it. Like I felt something when I watched it. And to this day, I still do. And it awakens this kid in me that's like, oh my God, like anything is possible in this world, and it's just absolutely inspiring. I absolutely love it, and I love just the CGI in this movie. I mean, it's nighttime here, but, it's still pretty good for the time, And I love, his screams and his howls as he's, swinging, and I when he figures out how to swing, like, it really was a perfect way narratively for Spider-Man to figure out how to do all this stuff. After the rage and the sorrow he was feeling with Uncle Ben's death, it was just kind of his impulse, to be like, I got to do something. And through that rage, he figured out how to be Spider-Man, at least one of the things that makes him Spider-Man, swinging and climbing and stuff. It's pretty amazing, and then we see him go, and he's finding the guy who apparently killed his uncle. And he arrives there, and I absolutely love, how basically with every heroic figure who's, not anti-heroes like the Punisher or, like Wolverine, perhaps, a hero, usually there's death surrounding the hero with the villains and stuff, but they're always like accidental deaths. You know what I mean? Like we see this with Batman, and we also see this with Spider-Man. Accidental deaths really shape the hero without necessarily tainting them. So here we see the criminal, he dies, but he trips, technically by what Spider-Man did, but not really. Very similar to, Batman running around with his Batmobile, and he runs into, the criminal's car and it explodes. Like it's just, sorry, but it definitely gives the edge, to a hero without completely tainting them. And the whole aspect, the morality, obviously the ethics of Spider-Man's story here are very prevalent, and it's this idea of he gets this guy, and he's like, oh my God, this is the guy that I let go because I was egotistical, because I wanted to get my way. I was annoyed that the guy wasn't paying me the right amount of money after my wrestling match. And I was like, you know what, whatever. It's not my problem, right? That's what he says. And he lets the guy go to the elevator, and lo and behold, this is the guy that ended up killing, obviously we know from Spider-Man 3, but who ended up killing his uncle. So it's this idea that it really teaches Peter Spider-Man, that things aren't easy. Things are complex, especially when you have a lot of power, when you have the choice. And what I like is that the pivotal moments of morality, in this part of Peter's life didn't have to do with him being Spider-Man. That scene where he's, letting the guy go in the elevator, after his wrestling match, the criminal, he could have stopped him. Any person could have stopped him, because the security guy was right behind the guy who was running. So, and that had nothing to do with Peter being Spider-Man, which I love, because it's not about Spider-Man or whatever. It's just about being a person, because anyone, no matter if you're Spider-Man or not, you have to, do the right thing, and you have power essentially, and you have to use it responsibly. I absolutely love it. And obviously, this is a nod to what happens at the end of the movie with Green Goblin as well. It's an accident, right? And so it really sets this motif of death surrounding Peter and heroes in general, and how they have to cope with that, because they realize that they're stronger than everyone else, and they feel a little bit guilty, and that's a part of being a hero. But I absolutely love this scene. It gives me chills every time I watch it. My favorite part really being, Spider-Man, he's climbing up the walls, and it's just absolutely mind-blowing. And for the time, this was absolutely amazing. Obviously, we've had X-Men and stuff, but this was really like the point where we were like, oh my God, this is like the peak, Because, the first X-Men came out in 2000, I believe, 1999, I think even. This one came out in 2002, Spider-Man, and then X-Men 2, which was also fantastic, came out in 2004, I believe. So, but there we have it, guys. That was a scene from Spider-Man, directed by Sam Raimi, of course. Absolutely fantastic. I'm looking forward to analyzing and reacting to the other scenes in to other scenes in maybe this movie or Spider-Man 2 or The Amazing Spider-Man. We will see. But let me know if you're excited for the new film, No Way Home, Spider-Man. Please, if you like this video, subscribe to the channel and like this video, literally. But that's it for me. You guys take care. Stay safe. And until next time, I love you.